time. We're gonna work on that.
Guys, I'm exercising my right to travel. Look, I've been stopped by the police, and I've told
really?
the Canadian police that I'm supposed to have the right to travel. I was going only 25 kilometers over the limit, and I just didn't notice that we were in a zone of 70 or 50 or whatever. Anyway, so he's still giving me a ticket, all right? And I told him the whole rap. I told him that I have the right to travel, and that I'm only transporting my property from one place to another. And he says that doesn't apply, that the law is that it's a privilege for me to drive. And I told him I wasn't driving. I told him that I was traveling from one place to another.
So will you go over to this bozo? Can we talk to him or what?
Well, he doesn't want to talk to me anymore because...
well, he doesn't get to choose whether or not you have a vocal interaction with him or not. Is he upset by that? Is he like...
I don't know. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, I mean, we are all men first, right? And you're not doing any harm, and you're not impeding his investigation or his duty. You just want to have a conversation man to man. There's no.
I tried, and he told me he doesn't want to have a conversation.
Oh, well,
he just opened up his window. Sorry, I'm on YouTube. I'd like to warn you right away. I'm on YouTube right now, and there's people here on YouTube who'd like to have a conversation with you.
So you're not interested. You're not interested.
He's not interested in having that conversation with us.
Well, yeah, you can't start a consensual conversation and then say you no longer consent.
Look, he's closing the window on me and he's leaving. He's going. He doesn't want to own up to his responsibilities as a civil servant.
Why didn't you start?
Look at that, he's leaving. He's fucking going. Fucking pussy, man.
Okay,
OTW, why didn't you start filming from the beginning, man?
Way too much action.
Well, because it just happened, and I just thought of it last minute, man.
So, what was the ticket for? You didn't have the license, registration, insurance, and
yeah, I have all my things, but I didn't want to give him my papers. I told him that I had the right to.
So he gave you a failure to present?
Excuse me? Yeah, he wanted to arrest me because I didn't want to give him my identification. So I told him, if you arrest me, then I'm going to exercise my right to stay silent. And if you touch me, you're going to manipulate the witness. And this can go far in court, sir. So anyway.
So what did he give you? Stuff? Could you shut the fuck up, please? This is the part of the broadcast where the host has a direct interaction with somebody who's doing something. You might all want to learn this in broadcasting. It's an unspoken thing, right? He's having an interaction with the police. I'm known for that. It's my channel. It's not ego. I'm supposed to have an interaction with him right now. That's how it usually goes. And Lou is just yelling inane questions over me. Just 3 times in a row. Help me out, Lewis, please. So
I just gave me a citation for $140 for 25 kilometers over the limit.
Right. So, and that's it? Just the speed limit?
Yeah, that's it. That's why he stopped me. And I found it was a perfect opportunity to stick him with the right to travel, you know? I was inspired, and I didn't, like, right off the bat. I ended up giving him my papers anyway because, I didn't feel like getting arrested and all that shit there. Didn't want to go all the way through. But I almost did. Maybe next time I'll go all the way through.
Well, I'll give you some... This is my perspective. I'm not saying like I'm the almighty one, but I am. So in this, I give you credit for testing the waters and trying, seeing what it kind of feels like, getting your feet wet. But you can't say you got all the shit.
I was shaking like that, man. I was fucking shaking.
I get it, but you can't say, because again, these are supposed to be the gods on earth, so we can't do anything other than shut up and hand them everything they ask for and not shake while doing it because they might kill us, is the narrative. But obviously if you have all the shit and they have your numbers, they know you have it, they don't know what game you're playing, but they're like, whatever, he's a slave. So you still haven't done the right to travel yet because you got to do it without everything, and then you got to see where it goes. That's official.
Yeah, but I tested the waters for the first time, but it was, dude, it had been such a long time since I had been stopped by the police that I never really had even thought of doing it. But now I was like, oh yeah, this is a great time. I was actually excited, It's like, all right, I get to test this thing out, man. But
this is why, like, people should try to, like, if they have, I don't know what kind of resources, everybody's on different level, but if you got like some extra and you want to do this thing, just go get a salvage used vehicle, right? Like, from what I understand, salvage changes the status of it from one that's already registered and transferred. That might be nonsense, but I mean, I have an idea about this, and the point is, just go get a salvage used car that's barely worth shit, and then take it around, you know, wherever you're at, and do that, and then try to, you know, stand on the position with that. This way, even if they take it, and even if you lose the car, it's not the greatest loss ever, in which case it really shouldn't happen. So you could still have all those things, not give any information, say I'm traveling freely, and have a car that's not registered. Because if the car is registered, they're already going to know, oh, it's OTW.
Yeah, exactly.
They're registered, blah, blah. They don't give a fuck. They say you're playing some game for YouTube, whatever, fuck you, bye. But if you have the car that's not registered and you don't give a name and they have nothing to tie you to, then you're actually doing it, because now you got consequences. You're not really doing it if you don't have the consequences, right? You
know what he told me? He said that that it was a privilege for me to travel, like to drive around the car.
They say that from America to UK. It's the same lingo, bro. It's literally the same words and terms, the same lingo, the same training.
I told him that he was wrong. I told him that he was wrong, that you know, I wasn't in a commercial capacity, and that I wasn't transporting anybody. I wasn't transporting any goods or merchandise, and that I was not functioning in a commercial capacity. And he told me that he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the law. I go, you don't know what the law is. All you're doing is enforcing policies.
I'm enforcing policy up here with Lewis and others. It's a privilege. Stop it, Wizard. Hands down, up against the wall. It's a privilege to be on this broadcast. Sorry, go ahead. I just want to try to get more formality up here going forward for the broadcast. So I want to like have a direct interaction with people, and then I want to do like, hey, go ahead panel. Like, so that's why I'm always saying your thoughts expert panel. That's like when you know that it should be a free-for-all and everyone to yell over each other, right? But until then, I like to have like if I may, have my interaction and then be pleased with that. I know that's egoic. And then I go, your thoughts expert panel. So like right now. Hold on. We have to go expert panel. See,
okay.
I can't even. All right, your thoughts expert
panel.
Yeah,
boom.
So when you say you're not performing commercially, then he demands a commercial identification and then poses a commercial citation with a fine amount on it. You're not performing commercially. As soon as you hand that identification over, it switches that whole scenario. Now you are performing commercially. If you are demanding that I perform commercially, then you must apply. This is the demand and supply chain. It's a chain of title. If you're going to require a commercial title, then you are performing commercially. And if you are not recognizing that, I will prove you to be incompetent in that courtroom because you required a chain of title.
Okay, but I didn't sign the citation. So I
doesn't matter. Mom doesn't need to sign the birth certificate either. Mom doesn't have to sign any documentation. It's all implied by your actions. Actions speak louder than words. And if you don't understand that yet, you will never understand that. You can't practice this stuff. You have to do it.
So what do I do?
That's the thing. But that's the thing, Wizard, is that I try to meet people where they're at and meet them in the middle, because I understand most people are not going to do what the fuck we do, because most people would say we're crazy, right? Like we're suicidal and crazy. And there may be a history of that in my past, is what they'll say on record, right? Not necessarily crazy in the sense of,
Well, when I told him that, that he was wrong about the fact that it was a privilege for us to travel or to drive, whatever, when I said he was wrong, he literally told me, well, this conversation is over. I'm going to finish out your citation and I'm not going to speak to you anymore. So he literally rejected the conversation, and I was actually polite.
Yeah, and he's the one that initiated the consensual conversation. And then once he got your commercial identification, then all of a sudden he decided he's not going to consent anymore. That is treason, sedition, theft, kidnapping, the whole 9 yards. That is a violation of every commercial code out there by demanding something you're not required to give as the benefactor. The benefactor is not required to do anything.
The other side of it is, right, and like, I'm not trying to, be whatever about it. It's just I have to be, consistent. I probably should have done it before, but I have to see more of your records, Wizard, as far as how much traveling you've done without any of this, how much you've dealt with the courts. The same thing anybody else would want on me, to know how much what I'm saying is applicable, how much I've experienced it firsthand, and how much I'm just talking about it. Because, everybody gets on the metaverse, talks about everything they know and what we're supposed to do. And then when I check the record 9 out of 10 times, they haven't done shit of what the fuck they're talking about. They're not living the information. I just took it for granted from the beginning that you're one of the people who is living the information. But yeah, the reality of it is, man, is like, we got to put the record forward for everybody to say, like you would in prison. Oh, check his paperwork. What the fuck is he on record for? What is he about? How much of this is firsthand experience? So, I don't need to take things necessary to a conclusion just to tell people this is what the fuck I do. Right? I won't even show up at court at this point. Last few things, I don't even show up at it. They arrest me, they let me go, and I tell them pretty much the whole way with a smile on my face. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and I'm not coming back. So if you let me out of here and I don't sign and I'm not coming back and you do that, you've taken on the onus of whatever it is you've created here. That's good faith and honorability. Even if I told them I was coming back at some point, I'll double back and say, listen, you know what? I thought better of this, and I really don't want a part of any of this. I don't see any benefit to myself long term to be part of any of this. You're wasting my fucking time, if nothing else.